Hey! What's happening over at Canopus Farms?
Mighty strange. Never heard of anything like that before.
You running off to Luxarian?
Ran off, more like it.
All three.
I'm detecting large infusions of chaos in the area. They're all over Canopus Farms.
Why would chaos suddenly appear across a single village like that? I have to check it out.
I've never seen a chaos infusion like this. Not only is it covering a large area, it's not losing any power.
This chaos didn't appear naturally. Someone or something has brought it here deliberately.
I think the chocobo eater is the source of the infusion. You have to defeat it to get rid of this chaos.
Right. Odin, show me your strength! My journey doesn't end here. Keep up if you can. This'll do. You're down. My journey doesn't end here. Might as well. Forgive me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't save your friends. I can do this. Let me pray for them. It's no substitute for salvation. But at the very least, perhaps I can give them peace. Odin! My friend, you have to know, I am powerless. I couldn't save all the souls who yearned for salvation. With each failure, I grew more despondent. But even in my despair, I kept fighting. The bond we had, it transcended centuries. No matter how much we changed, I always felt your strength. Even in my darkest hours, you made me strong. I've got some good news from Tilda. That dog she found is doing much better.
He is? Well, that's great!
The medicine you prescribed was exactly what he needed. You're a fine vet, Claudia.
You know my name? And you remembered it? Oh, this is so embarrassing. Anyway, I appreciate the praise, but I don't know anywhere near as much as XIII does, and practically the only thing Dr. Ghazal says to me is, hey, 13.
I wonder why he still won't call you by your proper names.
Oh, he says it's because he can't be troubled to learn them. But really, I think it's because he doesn't want to get too close to us. He's cared for a lot of people and animals over the years, and most of them have gone one way or another. He must be so tired of losing people he's grown fond of.
Yeah, it's hard to say goodbye to people you love. To keep everyone at a distance is one way to protect yourself.
That said, in my case, I think it really is because he can't remember my name. I'm still so hopeless at everything, and I've still got so much to learn. A number is all I deserve.
No, that's not true.
Hey, 13! Get over here!
See what I mean?
Are you deaf? Come over here, Claudia. I need your advice.
What?
Go on.
Coming!
An injured chocobo is being brought in from yard as we speak. It sounds... I haven't given up. Don't worry.
Welcome. May I help you? What is this? Incroyable! Never did I think anyone would be able to find these ingredients. I shall pour my heart and my soul into crafting this dish. I shall return. It is ready. I have made it at last. The legendary dish, the Nora Special.
Nora special. Somehow, that sounds familiar.
I doubt that, mademoiselle. It is a name that only a select few elite chefs are familiar with. It is a dish no longer served, a legendary recipe that was almost lost to the mists of time. A dish last sampled 1,000 years ago, or so the stories say.
For something that's so legendary, there's not much to it. It's not all that fancy or complicated. But at the same time, it smells great, like good home cooking.
Vraiment. On the tongue, it is a reassuring pleasure. It evokes sun-dappled afternoons on the seashore, a masterpiece of subtlety. It has been passed down to me over 1,000 years. From one generation of chefs to the next, the recipe copied 100 times. Until it came to me from my master. To make this dish is the greatest honor a chef can know. Somewhere my master is watching, and is proud. Please, you must have this, as a token of my eternal gratitude.
The Nora Special. It reminds me of a place near the water, of cool breezes, the waves lapping on the shore. I still remember Sarah. How could I forget? It was our hometown, the place we grew up. Bodum. You always used to order this at that cafe you loved. You'd make me get it too. Even now, 1,000 years later, something of that time has survived.
Today, the City of Light has been the scene of much tragedy. A great number of our residents have lost their lives. Let us offer prayers once again to Great Beneverza, so that he might be merciful to the forsaken souls, they who have lost all hope of seeing the new world.
I'm so hungry.
If you want to breathe in fresh air, go.
But at least those horrifying murders have finally stopped.
The boss will get angry if you don't hurry up.
Oh, it's you again. Thank you for taking such an interest in my friend's story.
Who wouldn't? A young reporter driven by a passion for truth pursues a major case of corruption, ultimately driving an innocent woman to commit suicide. But the story's not over yet, is it? I'm curious, what happens next?
He was beyond distraught. Nothing could console him. He came to realize that the pen really was mightier than the sword. And he had used his sword to punish the wrong person. And then he... I can't continue like this. I just can't. I need to tell you the truth. He... or rather, I... thought death was the only form of penance.
I suspected you may be hiding something.
I apologize. I've been lying to you this entire time. I had no such friend. The reporter, the one who killed the innocent woman, that was me.
I had a feeling. The way you've been telling the story seems to be hitting a little too close to home.
The reporter in me died long ago. I handed in my letter of resignation immediately, of course. Along with my life as a writer, I buried my precious pen. The burial ground is now a storage area somewhere in Old Town. underneath the dirt lies the tool of my trade, and a part of myself.
So why tell me this now? What's the point in dredging up the past? It can't be easy for you.
To tell you the truth, I don't really know. I guess I've been wanting to tell someone before it was too late. People need to know what happened. As a warning, if nothing else.
Too late? You're not thinking of...
No. I've been dead for a long time now. The day I quit my job is the day I quit being me. That's the day I quit living. You see, I'm as good as dead. I'm nothing more than an empty shell of a person.
Old Town. I found a pen in that same area. It must have belonged to Armand. Obviously, it means a lot to him. Perhaps I should return it. Or would that drive him to do something rash? I have something that might belong to you.
You found my pen. During my days as a reporter, I never went anywhere without it. It was a gift from one of my fans.
Doesn't this pen remind you of a time you wanted to help people? When you were still naive, but fiercely determined?
Yes, long ago, when I wanted justice for the world. But I realized my pen is a deadly weapon. My writing is lethal. I wasn't aware of my own powers. That's what drove an innocent woman to take her life. And that's why I quit my job as a reporter and threw away this pen. Do you know how it feels to have someone's death on your conscience? The only way to make this right was to quit what I love most.
So what did you fix?
Huh?
When you threw away your career and gave up on the world, quit on life, how did any of that help anyone? Did that make anything right? It was just an excuse for you to run and hide from your past.
Then what am I to do? Writing is the only thing I ever knew. But it never occurred to me that my passion could end up hurting those around me. My prized treasure turned out to be a weapon.
The pen can harm people, but it can also protect the public.
You think I should start writing again? I don't know if I could do that. Or should do that.
You should, if you truly want to make things right. You've learned something important, the power and influence your writing has. People grow by learning from their mistakes. It's impossible to forget what happened in the past, but use that knowledge and do what only you can do.
Do you really think I can? All right, I'll do it. Starting over will be tough, but I'll try. You've returned my pen to me, but what's more, you've given me hope again. Thank you. Thank you.
Require a room?
Sacred Tree of Light. On the very last day, the flower blooms.
Are you doing okay, Light? What exactly was that white chocobo's story? Light, you said you knew him? Did you call him Odin?
It was Yule who told me. I knew there was something about that chocobo from the moment I first met him. Turns out Odin was reincarnated as the Angel of Valhalla just to help me again.
Reincarnation? I wonder, can creatures with souls choose to be reborn? Can they choose when and where? Or is it all up to fate?
Odin finding me was no coincidence, and I believe Sarah will be reborn and that we'll meet again when she is. Even if I can't see her now or talk to her, I know she wants to see me again. She has to.
Broadcast is brought to you by the public moral laws of the
Require a
Order of
room?
Salvation. Please pray and thank Almighty God for allowing us to see another dawn.
Come again, anytime.
You mentioned you used to cover high-profile stories. I'm investigating a story for a friend. Do you know anything about a man named Ranulph?
Ranulph? Yes, I think I do. Yes, the poor man's wife and daughter were brutally murdered over some business dispute. Happened quite a while ago. He lost everyone he loved in the blink of an eye. What a tragedy.
That's some memory you have. This happened centuries ago.
My boss put me in charge of that story. It's one that's hard to forget.
That's lucky for us. Ranulph himself asked me to look into the case, so he can know the truth. Do you think you can help?
Actually, I think I might be able to do just that. I can hardly refuse any favors from you now, can I? Except, I wonder if you wouldn't mind doing something for me in exchange. Nothing too time-consuming.
You already owe me.
Just to hear me out, please. You're helping all kinds of people, aren't you? Would you keep doing that, but when you're done, come tell me their stories.
Just their stories? Are you sure that's all you want from me?
Yes, I want to write something that will inspire people and lift their spirits. What better subject than you?
I've done what you asked.
I knew you could do it. That's great news for everyone. You'll be an inspiration to my readers. This will make a fantastic article.
I'm not one to preach morality, but doesn't that violate some sort of reporter ethics? Writing stories that you helped create?
The job of a reporter is to follow the truth, and that's what I'm doing. But if we're being completely honest, the real reason I asked for that favor isn't for a story. My real purpose was to observe you and watch you in action.
What do you mean? Why me?
I know who you are now. You help people, and in doing so you save their souls. That's the duty you've been assigned by you-know-who upstairs. You are the savior, aren't you?
Huh. You knew who I was all along.
Let's just say I had a hunch. But don't worry. Your secret will be safe with me. I won't tell anyone. By the way, I looked into Ranulph's past and found something that might be helpful. The case was cold for a long time, but it turns out they did find a suspect in the end.
So, was he arrested?
I don't know if this is good news or not, but the person in question appears to have passed away some time ago. Once the authorities saw the death certificate, they stopped the investigation.
You're right. I don't know if that's good or bad news. So who was the person behind this?
Some lowlife that was part of a criminal organization, specialized in petty crime. The Order had been on his trail for a while. But he was a wily little rat, managed to stay one step ahead. He went through aliases, but the one on the death certificate was Reddick.
Reddick? I met someone with the same name in the Warren. He said he'd been in hiding for a long time.
Could it be the same man? Is it possible he's still alive? But there was a death certificate and everything.
He mentioned that he was dead in the eyes of the law. And he also knew where Ranulph's journal was.
Do you think he managed to fake his own death by forging the document to escape the Order's scrutiny? I suppose that could be possible. Then it looks like the case has been solved. We found our man. I'll go through the records again, in case we missed something.
It was Reddick, the man in the Warren with no name. Are you gonna tell Ranulph about this?
If it really was Reddick, there's something I want to ask him first. Let's go to the Warren and see if he'll talk.
I hear that the heretics
Require a room?
Come again, anytime.
This broadcast is brought to you by the Public Morals Office of the Order of Salvation. It is now
The Shadow Hunter was a real gracious
Oh, great. You again.
Now that I have Ranulph's journal, I know who was behind the murders of his wife and child. You've been running ever since. You even faked your own death.
I knew someone would make me. You got me, so you know everything. Yeah, I did it. I killed his family. I took the lives of his beautiful wife and daughter, all for a little money. The one who hired me had a rival business, and he wanted Ranulph out of the game. He's long gone, though. Passed away some time ago.
After you took care of business for this man, did you also steal the journal?
Again, that was me. Years after the incident, something happened to Ranulph. One day, he just seemed to forget the whole thing ever happened. I thought it was a lucky break on my part. I figured it was the best thing for all of us.
But why didn't you just dispose of it? It would have been easier than giving it to someone for safekeeping. And if it links you to the crime, why help me find it?
Guilt. I was too much of a coward to turn myself in. But I think I was waiting for someone to figure it out. I wanted this day to come. I'm tired of running. Turn me in, arrest me, do what you want.
It's not up to me to decide your punishment. Not even the Order. I'd say it's up to Ranulph. Wouldn't you?
So be it. I'll be right here waiting for retribution. Hey, I know you don't owe me anything. But do me a favor, will you? Don't tell my son about this, okay? That's all I ask.
Who's your son?
Name's Marlon. He's my stepson. A good kid. He's nothing like me. Got his own business and everything.
Marlon? He's not a baker by any chance, is he?
You know him? Even though I'm not his real father, he sends me money on a regular basis. You know, to get by. He has a good heart. I couldn't ask for a better son. I really don't deserve a boy like him.
Light, Isn't Marlin the boy Ranulph is so fond of? The one who bakes him those muffins that he loves so much?
This does complicate things, but Ranulph insisted he wants to know the truth, and that's what I'm gonna give him.
Really? Even though something like this could ruin their friendship? Do you think Ranulph's prepared for that, after losing his family all over again?
I'm so sorry, but I'm out of flour, so I haven't been able to bake today.
Oh, Marlin, you're so kind to come all this way just to tell me that. Never mind, I'll just have extras tomorrow.
You won't have to wait that long, I promise. I'll be back later.
I've decided to tell Ranulph the truth. The cold, harsh, unforgiving truth of his past. Even though it could cause him to lose a dear friend. Ranulph, I know who killed your family. He lives right here in Luxarian. He's been in hiding since he committed that crime.
Are you sure? Who is he?
The man's name is Reddick. His home is in the Warren for obvious reasons, and I found out something else about him too. But I'm not sure you really want to hear it.
I'd like to know, please. I'm done running from the past. I'd even forgotten about the family I once loved. From now on, I'm seeing things for what they really are.
All right. This Reddick, the man who killed your family, he has a stepson. His name... it's Marlin.
What? You mean my Marlin?
What are you going to do? Are you going to inform the Order of this information that's come to light? Or do you want to take matters into your own hands?
I'd rather not do anything. I just want to continue spending my days just like this. Nothing more. After all, we have few days left.
You forgive him?
No, but I'd rather Marlin didn't know. Imagine what it would be like to find out your father is a killer. You've helped me discover the truth, and I have no regrets. Marlin's innocent. What would be the point of burdening him with this sort of knowledge? His smile is what kept me going all this time. His friendship is what saved me. I don't want revenge. I also don't want to be the reason Marlin loses his father.
If that's what you want, I'll respect your wishes. The case has already been closed, and the suspect declared dead. No reason to bring him back to life now.
Thank you. My family would have wanted it this way. I can almost feel them smiling at me from above. Besides, I wouldn't want anything like this to stop Marlin from baking those delicious muffins of his. I'll continue to chronicle my life in my journal, but only about the precious moments I spent with my wife and daughter. I just want to document my memories. I want to leave proof of their existence.
The scenery today is the same as yesterday, but for Ranulph, nothing is the same. His entire world has changed. The past can never be undone. Yet, he has chosen to exempt a stranger from punishment. He didn't need saving, just someone to remind him of his strength and courage.
Good old Ranulph, cheerful as always.
If you need a room, welcome to our hotel. Do you need a room?
You that rules over all life.